So I'm going to try to come up with something that's slightly more optimistic than John Cherembakis and his prediction that we're all going to die. And I'm also going to troll my wife, Terry, a little bit because I love to quote dead Austrian economists, and it drives her nuts, but it seems appropriate. We're at the Austrian Economic Center. And I had an occasion to go back and reread Ludwig von Mises' great book, Liberalism, in the context of everything that's going on in the United States, in the context of the collapse of the harmonized European Union, the clash between the new right and the increasingly socialist left in this country. And Mises has this great quote where he talks about the difference between fascists and socialists. And he says that fascists divide people vertically by blood and soil, by who your parents were, where you're from, what religion you practice, what the color of your skin is, whereas socialists would do it horizontally. They would divide you by class. And you can read that in Marx and all of that. And I thought that was an interesting way to think about where we are today, but in fact, in historical context, these two ways of dividing people and using these divisions as a demagogic tool for monsters to control people and get us to total war, is that, you know, you look at Hitler. Was he a fascist, or was he a national socialist? Was he dividing people by just race, or was he dividing people by class as well? It depends. You could cherry pick your stories and discover that he was in fact using class warfare in that context. Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge, before they implemented a pure form of Marxism, the first thing they did was to kill the Chinese and the Vietnamese to make sure that this experiment in Marxism was pure in blood and soil. So you have these horrible stories in history where politics has divided us. And fast forward to 2015, Hillary Clinton, I think it was 2015, Hillary Clinton announces that she's going to run for president, and her video that she releases is this beautiful potpourri of everyone and everything that makes America special to her, except, as someone pointed out the day after the election, there wasn't a single white dude in that video. Donald Trump said, you know what? I got you. I'm going to double down, and I'm going to focus on white identity and some of the things that we've seen emerge on the new nationalist right. And I speak a lot to young progressive audiences today, and I think they're halfway there. I'm all for identity politics, and the Democratic Party has become this growing stack of identities that really don't have that much in common, except that they don't like Donald Trump. And it used to be a couple things. It used to be this sort of Bernie Sanders, we're the proletariat, and we just hate rich guys, we hate corporations. But the problem that they have today is that they don't have enough categories. They don't have enough divisions, because if you really push it a little bit further, you're going to discover that there are thousands of categories. No, there's millions of categories. No, there's just as many categories as there are people living in this country and perhaps in the world, because as it turns out, we're all different. We all come from different places, and we all have different aspirations, and we all define those things based on who we are, what our hopes and dreams are. And you're seeing this play out in American politics. You're seeing this play out in the decentralization and democratization of almost everything in life today. And it didn't start with politics. It started with technology, and it started with the collapse of one-size-fits-all media, and it started with the breakup of old top-down institutions across the board. The last place that it's happening is in politics. In politics, in the United States, we still have essentially two parties. There's a couple other parties trying to claw their way into that equation. And young people who have grown up in this radically libertarian, decentralized, I'm the customer and I get to decide everything. I'm going to curate my news, I'm going to curate my friends, I'm going to choose my music, in ways that was inconceivable just 5 years ago. They get to the political marketplace, and somebody somewhere has decided that they either get to vote for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And they feel like they're in a mall in Caracas. There's absolutely nothing for them. So is this chaos a good thing? Is this going to lead to total war? Are we creating an environment where some demagogue is going to exploit these resentments and get us back to where we were in the dynamics that Mises was writing about that led to the Second World War? Or is there an alternative scenario where that same decentralization, democratization, liberty, and choice that's breaking up all of these old top-down institutions, is there an opportunity for what our European friends here would call liberalism, what we might in the United States call classical liberalism or constitutional conservatism or libertarianism? Is there an opportunity to actually tell a different story? Is there an opportunity to reach people all the way at the end of the long tail of the internet and get them to understand that centralization is always a bad thing because it destroys who they are, it destroys their hopes and dreams, and that might be education, that might be healthcare, that might be the collapse of the entitlement state, that might be the failure of government-controlled money, whatever it is, all the things that we have criticized as classical liberals all our life. These institutions are failing us right now. Is there an opportunity to talk about liberty and get young people in particular to understand that you never ever want somebody behind closed doors with too much power making those decisions for you? I happen to be an optimistic person about all of this stuff, and I think it looks like chaos in this country, it looks like Europe. I think Brexit, I think Donald Trump, I think the Tea Party, I think the Ron Paul movement, the Five-Star movement in Italy, the Pirate Party in Iceland, all of these are symptoms of the fact that the old system is falling apart. The old way that we reallocated power in politics and redistributed wealth, all of that stuff is dying right now. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And it looks like chaos because we're in the midst of a paradigm shift. So what do we do with this? Do we throw up our hands? Do we say, you know what, all is lost because no one seems to appreciate the value of freedom and entrepreneurship and peaceful cooperation? No, I think this is a golden opportunity to reach people that we've never reached before. So I'm going to be more optimistic. I don't believe that we're headed towards total war. I think we're headed towards total liberty. Thank you.